welcome back to our 10 Minutes with Anthony. I'm your host, Jen Cherney. And here's Anthony. In one of your posts, I read a pretty exciting thing about the dolphins that you ran into. That sounds so great. You have to talk about it more.
Yes, and of course we're coming. This is 10 Minutes with Anthony. We're coming to you live, or well, not live, but we're in the Bodyzone, which is Key West's best gym, and our official home for 10 Minutes with Anthony in the Bodyzone. And before we even get started, just remember, Jan and I are very opinionated. We have these opinions that might not necessarily be the opinions of Bodyzone, the owners, staff, or members here. So that's our disclaimer. Yes, it's been a fantastic week, Jan, because Sunday I went out paddleboarding outside my house. So walk down the street, pop the paddleboard in, paddle out. Immediately I see a couple fins. So being the human being that I am, I get a little scared thinking it might be a shark. And my first reaction is, well, I better turn around. But I look a little, and I see that, they do that dolphin thing where they kind of roll over, and I said, oh my gosh, that's dolphin. That's a couple dolphins. So I said, let me get closer and see just how close I can see. Well, I start paddling over towards them. They see me, and like dolphins do, I guess, rather than run away, they come over towards me to investigate. And so I start seeing dolphins everywhere, and I counted 7 or 8. I saw a couple babies. They got to the point where because my thing was I was going to go to the other side. I was going to check out the other side, which is probably like Little Torch, I guess, probably the key, and there's a little island over there. And so they got to the point where they split up, and there was 2 on one side, 2 on the other of my paddleboard as I'm paddling. I mean, close enough where I could touch them with my paddle. And then there was a big one behind me. So, I mean, it was cool, and they went around and all that, and, you can hear them, spouting and everything. I was like, and there's no other human beings out there. It was incredible. I was like, so I go to the other side, and then I go over there, and I start coming back. When I come back, I see them again, and I paddle over. They see me, and they come a beeline at me, man. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're coming right at me, And in the last second, they kind of split away. But I got so excited, I couldn't help it. My legs started shaking like that. And, in my head, I'm thinking, don't fall over. Bam, I fall in the middle of the drink there, And the current was so strong that the paddleboard just took off, So I got to swim like a madman with a paddle in my hand to get my paddleboard back,
Dolphins didn't help.
No, they didn't help. And then when I got back to my island, I went over 2. I couldn't avoid them. There were 2 pretty good sized nurse sharks, maybe 5 feet long, I went right over them. They kind of scattered when I went over them, so that was kind of cool. A very cool day, man. I marked the spot where they're at. I hope it's not a once in a lifetime thing.
That'd be great. I'd go there to see, because it happened to me only once on the jet skis, and that's different. There was more people too, and yeah. But
well, that's what scares me, that you say that's a once in a lifetime. Now, listen, I mean, and it's the strange thing, because that Friday I was talking to my sister, my youngest sister. She's older than me, but my youngest sister, I have 6. I was talking to her, and she loves dolphins. Loves dolphins, and I was telling her, I was saying, I go out, I have like a hit list of these creatures I want to see when I go out paddleboarding or whatever. And I told her, I said, the things I haven't seen have been dolphins. I haven't seen sea turtles, and the most elusive one I want to see is the sawfish. And so she was like, "Oh, that would be cool," and everything. And it was almost like I made it up, Like I go out. I was telling her about that on Friday. Sunday, I go out and I see them, and so I hope it's not a once in a lifetime. But if it is, it's something I'll never forget. It was incredible. I mean, it's not like being some stupid zoo or aquarium or something where, hey, do the dog. They were just doing their thing, man. And they just gave me 5 or 10 minutes of what they were doing, allowed me to kind of observe, and then we were both on our way. It was very cool. But
yeah, I hope that also that's the place where they got her, because where I saw them, kind of the place where they show dolphins to people. You know, I was just on the jet skis myself, and we're around the Fleming Key, and that's where they usually take people to watch the dolphins. So I think they have their spots, and they always come back. So that'd be great.
Fleming Key, the water gets a little turbulent out there, because I go out there sometimes with my job. I go out there to the special forces and stuff like that, and sometimes I'll see that those currents out there are real stiff, you know. I'll see that little tiki boat sometimes out there, and I don't know how it gets through those currents, but that water gets real, and that's like iguana central out there. There's iguana just running crazy out there. But if you notice, Jan, I'm wearing my weightlifting belt too, and so it's kind of, you know, I'm still trying to get bigger here, getting in preparation for the Masters Nationals, and you know, I'm just trying to get wider, get my arms bigger and everything, but I'm trying to have a smaller stomach. So one thing that I've been doing is wearing my weightlifting belt everywhere, and really tight, where it kind of forces me to vacuum and hold that vacuum in, and just get used to always holding my stomach in. And
has that worked for you before, or it's the kind of new thing you're doing?
It's kind of a new thing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll see if it works. If it works, it works. But you know, certainly I've used, you know, it's been one of my things for many years is to use vacuums. You know, working on keeping that up. But this almost forces me to be in a vacuum state. Like, you know, it's either that or I'm going to bruise my ribs. You know, it's a little tight. But you see, I even wrapped my knees today because I went a little heavier on legs. So I mean, my strength is really going up, and training is going good. I feel like I look bigger than I normally do. Leaner up. I can't hit that 220. That 220 is what I'm trying to hit, and then come down from that 220. I've gotten as high as 217 and some change, but I seem to hover around 216. But so that's kind of and that kind of leads me into what my topic was today. And my topic was the importance of having your own style. It's not just in the gym, it's just in life, you know, having your own style. And I think there's too many people that try to emulate other people, you know, like, oh, that guy's got that car, I'd like to have that car because of that. And in the gym, you see it a lot. There's a whole gym style, you know, like guys wear certain shoes. They wear...
Especially nicer gyms like this one. Yeah.
So there's a whole, you know, a style of that, and I mean, that stuff's cool. I mean, you know, it's cool, I guess. But, you know, if it's not comfortable stuff for you, and it's not really you, eventually that, you know, you're not authentic, that style is it's going to, you know, when you meet somebody or you hang around people, that it's going to show that that's not really you. So, I mean, it's kind of goofy for me walking around wearing a weightlifting belt, and I don't think anybody would emulate that style. But my point is, I'm willing to do anything just to get that little edge for a contest. That's more important to me than style. And this is, you know, of course, you know, I'm wearing a Bodyzone shirt, which that's fine for the gym. I'm wearing these shorts. I've literally probably had these shorts since early 2000s, if not late 90s. I still wear them. You know, I train legs. I wear Vans because I like the flat bottom. I wrap my knees, and I'm walking around with a belt. I got a fresh haircut today too, so if you notice that, I got a fresh haircut. But that's my style, man. And I mean, my style, you know, and so no matter, you know, it's not some kind of fake thing where where I would be exposed, like, oh, well, I don't really do that. I only do that in front of these people. You know, and that's very important especially as a dude, to come up with your own style. Like, in other words, you'll see a guy, well, if I had that car, I could meet this girl. Or if I had that job, or if I wore this cool shirt, I could meet that girl. Well, if that's, you know, you want these people, whether it be girls, friends, or whatever, to like you for your own style. That way you don't have to put on this act, you know. I mean, if your deal is you start laughing and you're drinking chocolate milk and chocolate milk comes out of your nose, you know, you know, then that's just you. You got to be with people, you know, that don't think that's gross or they laugh about that or whatever. But if you put on this facade for somebody like, oh, you know, I always put on cologne when I go to the, you know, when I walk out to check the mail or, you know, that kind of thing, that's going to get exposed. And you don't, in the long run, you want somebody, whether it be a friend, a lover, whatever, you want them to be attracted to you for what's you, good, bad, worse, or indifferent, because it's not, you know, if you give them some fake act that, you know, you go, I'm going to pick them up for a date, and I'm going to go rent a Maserati, you know, and, you know, that's exaggerating, but that's what I'm talking about. You know, this is the car I drive, this is the shirt I wear, I'm a pretty good dude, how about you, kind of thing.
I think it's also kind of pretty dumb from women to actually fall for stuff like that, you know, like you just described the Maserati and all that kind of stuff, you know.
Well, women are always, well, not always, but women are always kind of looking for that bigger and better deal, you know, all the time. And it's, you know, they look for different things, you know. I don't know if you can ever even...
But they're easily fake. They're easily deceived, you know.
Yeah, I think that unfortunately there's some women that are looking to be lied to. And there's dudes out there that are more than happy to do that. They can kind of sense that it's kind of like hypnotism. You know, there's, you know, you can be hypnotized if you're willing, but some people are more susceptible than others to being hypnotized. It's funny. I saw my significant other here, Marilyn, was in here earlier, and you know, we had a thing where she dropped me off. I got my hair cut. I walked and did a couple errands because I rode with her into town today, and so she had to do some errands. So I was waiting for her to come to the gym, you know. So I was waiting here, you know, and not training. Waiting because I was going to train legs with her. So I ended up waiting here like an hour, you know, and walking around. So people are looking at, you know, kind of looking at me in here, being like, "What's that dude doing?" You know, he's kind of walking around. He's, you know, he goes to the bathroom. He does a couple ab exercises, whatever. So finally, I told the girl up at the front, your friend there at the front, I said, "Hey, you know, I met this girl on Plenty of Fish."
Yeah, that's why she was talking stuff. Yeah.
I said, I met this girl on Plenty of Fish. I don't think she's going to show up. I've been waiting here for an hour. I'm thinking, and so I could tell she didn't know if I was serious. Then she's like, she kind of felt bad, you know, like she, you know.
She told me something along those lines, and I was like, what?
So then, you know, so she was like, man, but you know, that would be kind of a weird thing, you know, but the only reason I even thought of that Plenty of Fish, I don't know if that even exists anymore, is in my travels around the gym, not working out, waiting for an hour, I heard some people's conversations going on. You know, one of them had to do with Plenty of Fish, and so it was just in my head.
Now everybody's going to think that.
So that was in my head. So I just, you know, so I know the question seemed to be, why is this dude just walking around the gym and he's not working out? And so I was like, yeah, it's best to meet somebody here, and I don't think she's going to show up. But I told her I had a Maserati. And I have a big job in Wall Street or something like that. But that's it, man. That's the important, you know, it's the thing about, you know, and part of that was, sometimes I get in these conversations with people on social media, and mostly I take a view that's not the popular view. And so that's what kind of put the idea in my head, because all these people kind of jump on me, and you know, they hit me kind of low and personal, but I don't really take it personally. I mean, you know, we could be, you know, I could put a point about something else and somehow it would come to my bodybuilding career or something like that has nothing to do with the argument. So that made me think, I've never really been scared to take the least, you know, the path least traveled, or the you know, the argument that's not the popular argument, especially in this day and age where there's so many political arguments going on. It's very easy to not really want to, you know, if you feel a certain way, but all your friends feel a different way, you know, it's like, well, all my friends feel that way, so I better feel that way. I'm not saying you have to voice your opinion. Actually, it's probably better you don't. But you shouldn't be afraid to, what you feel and what you believe in, that should be it. It shouldn't be influenced because all your friends do that. That's the latest style. And that's the theme of this whole thing is get your own style, man. Have your own style. Whether it be whatever you do, you play tennis, you go to the gym or whatever, this is the way I comb my hair, this is the kind of clothes I wear, this is what my body looks like, this is how I, treat people. Hopefully you'll treat people well. And that's your style, man. And then you'll find that if you have confidence in that, you come across as being real, not as being fake. And people that would be attracted to that type of person, who in turn you probably would be more attracted to that type of person that would be attracted to you. The universe kind of has a way of working those things out, and everything ends up hunky-dory, as they say.
Not familiar with that expression.
Hunky-dory, yes. I don't know if anybody is. It hasn't probably been used in many years.
Yeah,
but
that's why I like your lines for the movies.
Yeah.
Because they come from who knows when. But
right. That you like them so much that you've changed about 90% of them, but that's how much you like them, that you changed about 90% of them. But
I would say, I don't know, 65%.
So, but that's pretty much all we have today. Don't forget, we're here every week from Bodyzone. Best gym in Key West. It's not just a bodybuilding gym. It's got classes. It's got everything. I mean, I come here different times. I come here in the morning. I see buddies working out. It's a very cool thing, I notice people, the same, there's a group of 3 guys that come in, they're buddies. They work out together. It helps, better than going to a bar, I guess, or whatever, or eating pancakes at IHOP. But it's cool, they work out, they help each other, and they all kind of talk, and and it's a nice scene, and they go on with their day. They're staying in shape. So there's something here for everybody. They got classes. These classes, sometimes you come here at night. I think you've been coming a little bit during the day and stuff like that. Come here at night, these classes are packed, man. The music is blaring. They got lights, woo-hoo. We have people riding the bike and stuff. It's cool stuff. And, of course, stuff that I like yoga. So if you are, I think actually, I'll talk with Calvin, the owner, but I think we're going to do a thing that if you are here on vacation and you can prove you're a fan of the show, 10 Minutes with Anthony, it's usually $15 to work out here. He'll let you work out for $7. I'll get that approved, but I'll take that to corporate and get that approved. But I think hey man, I like your club. I watched 10 minutes Jan and the big guy on 10 Minutes in the Bodyzone. And probably do like a weekend special or something that you come in on vacation, you need a place to train. You come here, we'll hook you up with a little Anthony package. And of course, we always encourage competitors. So if you have an MPC card, an IFBB card, or one of those other ones like the WBO or whatever that is, any of those competitive cards, we'll always cut you a deal on working out here because we know it's important even when you're on vacation to train and everything. But that's it, man. We'll see you next week. Jan, you got anything to add?
I'm good. Next week, guys.
We'll see you.